Welcome to the power of forgiveness. The power of forgiveness. We are vibrational beings, and your unique energy field is composed of the accumulation of frequencies of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your beliefs. I'm always focusing on how to help you improve your own energetic field because energy is your power. Forgiveness is one of the main keys to reclaiming your energy, to rebuilding and owning your power to move forward. If we hold on to judgment or resentment against ourselves or others, no matter what the reason is, no matter how justified you are to have resentment or anger or judgment or blame because of what someone has done to you, the fact that you hold on to those feelings means that it's causing you to lose power. And just to prove this, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and I want you to think about someone or some act that has been done to you that you're holding judgment about, or resentment, or anger, or blame. And it can be something small, from someone cutting you off in traffic and flipping you off to a really big betrayal. But whatever it is that you choose, I want you to bring that person or event to mind right now. And I want you to close your eyes and I want you to let yourself remember the event or the interaction. Just sort of be a witness and you're seeing it play out. Go ahead and do that. Then as you're doing it, I want you to scan your body. Notice what's happening in your body. Do you feel some tightness in your stomach? Do you feel queasy, or your chest is tight or heavy, or you're holding your breath, or there's a tightness or burden across your shoulders? This is how we're holding, or this is how the energy of this is holding a physical grip within your body. Judgment, anger, resentment are very powerful energetic charges, and they're cords to people and to events that block us, and they cut us off from the full source of our power. These emotions are very toxic. They're low vibrating. If we think about emotions being on a ladder, and a ladder that reaches really high in the sky, to the bottom rung being way down and touching on the earth, and that bottom rung would be hatred. And then down there, as the rungs go up, there's a little bit of hatred has a very, very low vibration. And as we go up the rungs of the ladder, we might have judgment and anger and resentment and sadness and depression. And then all the way at the top of the ladder, we have enlightenment. And below that, we have joy and happiness. Everything has an energy. So the feelings of judgment and anger and resentment and blame are lower vibrating down on that ladder. And when we're stuck in lower vibrating energies, then we can't get through to the top of the ladder. We can't climb up to the vibration of happiness and joy and enlightenment. We can maybe sometimes go in and out, but the lower energies will always be drawing us down. It's toxic to your energetic field to hold on to these type of energies, even if you're justified in doing so. We have every right to feel that way from what's happened. So forgiveness is really an act that is for you because it releases you from that negative, lower vibrating energy, from those emotions. It's a medicine, really, in giving you back. It's a prescription for you taking your power back so that you can be in a higher vibration, that it's not a tie or a drain on your energetic field. Forgiveness has been shown in repeated studies that it's very good for your self-esteem and for your overall well-being. When we hold on to the energy of those type of vibrations and those emotions, those are the things that eventually can literally cause dis-ease or disease within the body. Problem is what's often misunderstood about forgiveness is that people think if I forgive, then I'm excusing the action. And forgiveness is not that. It's not about releasing the other person from the responsibility. And it doesn't minimize or justify the wrong that's been done to you. Instead, it's about making a decision to let go and to diminish the grip that these powerful emotions have on you and on your system. It's not something that you do for the other person. Instead, it is a gift that you give to yourself. Forgiveness is a way of opening yourself up to be in the channel of those higher vibrations, to be in a path of healing on many, many different levels. Now, I'm going to give you an example of probably one of the bigger events that had to be in persons that I had to forgive in my life. And I used a lot of different techniques to work through this situation and forgiving and finding true compassion and forgiveness to this person. And what I have done is basically comprise those together into this forgiveness meditation exercise that we're going to do together. And I want you to know that this has made a huge difference in my life and that it can for you too. And there isn't anything that can't be forgiven. It really is about your choice. Anything can be forgiven, from the most heinous things of sexual abuse to murder. Anything can be forgiven. And it truly gives you power when you do it. So for me, my story, the one story that I'm going to share with you today, had to do with a person that I really truly trusted. I had been practicing law with my dad for several years before going out on my own. And when I did go out into my own law practice, it was a really exciting time, but it was a very scary time. It wasn't something that I felt prepared for. But circumstances had me in a place where here I am, and it's either jump in or not survive. So I went out on my own, and when I did, this person came with me, and we will call her Sally. And she was really close with me. I say that the bond was like one that was a sister. I really trusted her. I shared a lot of my fears with her. I probably shouldn't have. There's lessons that I learned from that. But at the time, it was, I felt that she was someone that I was on this path to build something, and she was a part of my team. And she was my only team for a few years before I could afford to hire somebody else. So there's a very deep bond between us, and I knew her children and spent time with them. There wasn't anything that if she had asked me that I wouldn't have done for her. And after about 5 years of really putting in a lot of hard work to make this law practice grow, from going from a place of where I didn't know how I was going to meet a paycheck to where I finally felt like I was making a profit, and I felt like I was really growing and in a good place in my life. And I had been married for a little over a year and a half, and I was pregnant at 6 months, almost 7 months into my pregnancy. But I had some challenges with the pregnancy because of my age. I was 39 years old, and some physical challenges with that. So that was very important that I didn't have a high stress load to keep my blood pressure down. But life was good. I was excited about everything until I walked in to my office on a weekend with a sort of a suspicion about that something wasn't right. And I started going through some files. And what I discovered that day really took the floor out from beneath me. The stability that I had, any security that I had in my life of believing that things were good. All of a sudden that was turned upside down because I discovered an embezzlement scheme by her that had been going on for over 3 years, and it was a large amount of money. Breathtaking, literally took my breath away, and was a huge challenge for me, not just financially, but first it was a challenge to my marriage. Really came to a point that I thought that it would be the cause of our divorce at that time, to the physical challenges in my pregnancy, that I was hospitalized because of the stress and my blood pressure. 2 times before my son was born prematurely, almost 7 weeks, and he was fine, thank goodness. But it was really a challenging time to the fact that it was very, very, very scary. Scary financially and scary because of the process in my state with the State Bar Association of reporting, of embezzlement of funds, as a protection for clients, that it was a challenge to my law practice, my law license at the time. Very scary and hard would be the word. It was very overwhelming for me. I went back to work when my son was 3 weeks old because I didn't have a choice. I had to either go in and keep the doors open and work through it or close the doors and not know what I was going to do. And it took me about 2 years working almost every weekend, working long hours to just get to a place where I was paying back all the money that was stolen from people within my practice, from vendors that she had stolen from, etc. So that I was just breaking even. Everything I was making was going back to repay the debt of what she had stolen. It was a really challenging time and very, very dark, would be the way to describe it. I went through a very deep depression, which was hard having a young child because I felt like I missed out a lot on things because I wasn't completely present. I found it very hard to be so with what I was struggling to come to terms with. So I've done a lot of work in my relationship with Sally, and I've never spoken with her. I've never received an apology. I do know that she wanted to try to make things right, but I've only seen her since then in the court proceedings that followed. But I can tell you today that I stand in a place of complete forgiveness and compassion for her. And that when I came to that place, that it opened up just a completely different vibration in my life of how I see life and how I see circumstances that happen, and having compassion and the strength that it gave me. And that came through the process and the steps that we're going to do together in this exercise. They've all been put together. And when you begin, I don't want you to pick the person that is your biggest challenge. I want you to pick something small to forgive. And then when you repeat the exercise, you can do a bigger forgiveness challenge. And then you can pick somebody else. And then eventually I'd like you to do this exercise as a self-forgiveness exercise, because we all need self-forgiveness, because the blame and judgment and hurt the resentment that we hold to other people, we hold ourselves for many things too. So that's sort of like an advanced technique. And one of the things in the steps that you'll learn here is truly taking on compassion and seeing things from someone else's perspective. Again, not asking for you to condone the act. I don't condone what Sally did. I don't. I forgive it because I know that it had to come from a place that was deeply wounded. There's the saying that hurt people hurt people. So part of the exercise is to see it from their eyes. What could they have gone through that made them hurt you? And so I can always say that I never truly had anger in the situation that happened to me. And I think that was because on a deep level that I knew this person. I knew her heart, and I knew the bond that we had. And I knew that if she could do this, which she did, that it had to be from a very wounded place. To see it from her eyes, that there was something that made her so miserable or hurt or confused to make those wrong decisions, or scared. As often when we do things that hurt others, it's out of the need to protect ourselves, out of our own fear. And so that is a step that is very powerful in this exercise. And another is that the lessons that you could have gained. I think one of the powerful tools that we have is to see that life doesn't happen to us, but happens for us. And so you'll be asked to look at what are the lessons that you could have gained from this when you're looking at this and seeing also how this happened from their eyes. When we do it in that way, we're forgiving into love. We're displaying compassion, but we have lessons and truly believe that we are here to learn and to grow on a soul level, and that we all have lessons that we can learn. And so I can stand here in my power in this situation that happened with Sally, which was truly, truly life-changing for me, but in so many powerful ways. One, in teaching me compassion. Two, in teaching me my strength. Like, I didn't think I could survive through that. I really didn't know how I was going to hold on. And truly being pregnant was a blessing because it made me, forced me to take care of myself. Yeah. So it taught me that I was stronger than I thought that I could be. And it also taught me that through all of that, even when I seriously doubted everything and I was depressed, there was always this vibration underneath that somehow I knew that I was going to make it through. That there was something, some force that was supporting me and guiding me, even when it was one of the hardest times that I've had. And so it increased my faith in that, and that we are all connected. And in some ways we are all supported. So then I learned simple things that are truly important. And now when I coach people, there are things that that I took for granted that a lot of people also do, which is to have simple checks and balances within your business to prevent from that happening. It's a very common thing, especially with lawyers and doctors and entrepreneurs and people who have people that they rely heavily upon. It's very common to have embezzlement. I now know this. So I learned some accounting techniques that I didn't know. I learned a lot of accounting techniques that I didn't know. It caused me to learn accounting software because for many, many years I did everything myself after that to prevent it from happening. But it also was a challenge for me in that it really made me doubt myself and trusting others. And so I had to search for the power to be able to do that and to understand that comes from my own permission and my own strength. So there's a world of ways that this changed my life, but in such a positive way. And that's a part of the step that will helps us to seek in forgiveness is it a gift for us? And we are going to look at releasing, not just in the sense that you understand maybe more and have compassion from their point of view, but we're going to release on an energetic level in this exercise. And so what that means is I had you close your eyes and feel where you were feeling in your body that the energy of something was holding on to you. We're actually going to release that energy from our systems on an energetic level and cut the ties and the cords that we have with others and our events to the past that are draining us. So there are all kinds of reasons to do this, to gain your power. And I still know that when we have all of that it can be scary. But I just want you to remember that on the other side of scary is when magic happens. That's when we truly find our power. It can return. It's when we make the decision to jump off the cliff that we grow new wings. So I'm ready to grow some new wings with you. And we're not going to do this in a sense that you're not alone. It's besides having me help you with it, I'm going to help you tap into this underlying source that always is supporting us. And some of us look at this as even your own intuitive abilities to know what is to help you reach to something, to do something that is for the betterment of you, that increases your power and brings your energy back to you. And we're going to do that by tapping into your intuitive abilities. And sometimes when I talk to people who've not really been into meditation or intuition, they look at me like, that don't really know what I'm talking about. But this is something that you know, even if you're not consciously aware of it. You use it every single day. You're being guided, you're being inspired. There is something that guides you on a path, even when you make wrong choices. The feelings that you have that are good or bad, that the negative feelings or positive feelings, those are the things that are part of your intuitive power that helps you to guide you in the choices that are right or wrong. And this is not a new concept. It's something that's been used for thousands and thousands of years that we've known about, but it's even not a new concept in within business. So I like to use the story of Napoleon Hill, very successful businessman and entrepreneur and author, and he was the author of Think and Grow Rich, which is a fabulous book about what is the key to success. And Napoleon Hill used this technique that we're going to use today, but he called it the counselor technique. Sometimes it's called the boardroom technique based upon him and how he used it. And basically, what we're going to do is you're going to choose, you're not going to be alone when you go into this experience. You're going to choose two guides to go with you. And they can be anyone. It can be an avatar, somebody that you look up to. It can be a religious or spiritual figure. It can be a spirit guide if you have a spirit guide or believe in spirit guides or use spirit guides, or it can be an angel. It can be a spiritual leader like Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha. For me, one of my guides when I used this exercise was Mother Teresa. I didn't ever think it, that she just popped into my mind that she was someone who showed true compassion in her life and lived from that place, and love that famous writing by her where she talks about when they injure you and they harm you, that you love them anyway. So for me, she was an easy one to pick because I think she has great compassion, and if I was going to use her as a guide on how to get through forgiveness, then she would be someone that I would want to tap into the intuition of her knowledge. So for Napoleon Hill, what he would do is he would use Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Carnegie. And he said that he would go into his boardroom when he was ready to make a decision about something. He'd go into his boardroom and he'd close his eyes and he would imagine that he was speaking to Lincoln and Carnegie, and he would ask them for their advice. And then he would get inspired to act and make decisions about things. And he, said that this was their guidance that was coming through. It's his intuition that he's tapping into. It's that force that we're tapping into that supports all of us. It's the life force that makes your heart beat and my heart beat. It's the life force that makes flowers, blooms, and trees grow and stars hang in the sky. It is the life force that is making everything grow. It's part of that you're tapping into, this deep source of knowledge and power that we all have the ability and we tap into all the time. We're just not consciously aware of it. So you're going to get to bring in two guides with you and choose anyone that you want. I want you to go ahead and choose them now before we begin. This is a way of hacking into your intuition. So it's two people that are going to be advisors to you in this. This reminds me of the movement we saw a long time ago of what would Jesus do. But we don't have to do this in a spiritual sense. These guides can be anyone. Good. Now that you have your two guides, don't overthink it. Just the first two names that come to your mind is fine. That's what I did when Mother Teresa came in because of what I was thinking about how she lived her life in compassion. These two people are going to go in with you, and I want you, the second thing you need to do is you need to pick the person or the event that you're going to forgive. Whatever that's going to be, I don't want you to start with the biggest one in your life right now. Pick something smaller. And then the final thing that you need to do is to pick a place that this is going to happen. It can be a neutral place. It could be a white room if you want it to be. It could be a garden. It could be a field. It could be, if it was a restaurant and that an event took place in, whatever that's comfortable for you. Don't question it, but choose a place where this interaction with the person or act that you're going to forgive is going to happen. Okay, good. And so now we're going to begin the exercise. And what I want you to do is just to find a comfortable spot to sit. And go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I'm just going to lead you through a simple relaxation exercise. I'm going to bring the attention to the top of your head, to your scalp. I want you to feel your scalp relax. And then as you continue to breathe in and out, I want you to feel the relaxation flow down across the muscles of the forehead, down the muscles of the back of the head, to the back of the neck. Feel tension letting go. And as you breathe in and out, feel the muscles in your shoulders sink in and relax. It's a place where we often carry so much burden. As you breathe in and out, you feel the relaxation go down your spine, across the muscles of the upper back to relax, down to the lower back. Breathing in and out, feel your hips soften, your thighs release any tension in your calves, down to your feet. Bring your awareness back to your shoulders. And then again, scan there and let that release down into your arms, all the way to your hands. And with your eyes continue to be closed, I just want you to imagine in your mind's eye that there is a light that is above your head. And this light is the source of that light force that I spoke to you about, the force that makes everything grow and that keeps us connected to each other, that we're all connected through this force. It's the force that, beats your heart and mind, as I said, as if you imagine your fingernails and that they grow every night. It's that force that does that. It is loving and peaceful, and it is something that supports us. And I want you to see that light above your head, and it can be any color that you choose for it to be. I want you to take a deep breath into your nose and breathe that light into the top of your head. And as you breathe out, you see it going down your spine. Feel it going down your spine. Feel the peace and love and relaxation that it brings. All the way, see it going all the way down your legs and out the bottom of your feet into the earth. Very beautiful, supporting, energetic light. Now I want you to see yourself in the space that you picked. And as you're walking into this space, I want you to see the two guides that you chose are behind you, standing there, witnessing and supporting you. Feel them behind them and know that they're there to support you and that you're safe. And in front of you, see the person that you need to forgive. And we're going to start a timer for about 2 minutes in a minute. And what I'm going to allow you to do is this is the time where you tell them everything as it is, the way that you feel, all the thoughts that you've had, the feelings that you feel, what this has done to you, the wrong that they've done, how it's affected you, what it triggers for you, how it makes you feel. Say everything that you need to say in this 2 minutes. And if you're angry, be angry. And if you're sad, be sad. And if you want to scream or yell, then see yourself doing that when you're saying all of this to them now in these couple of minutes. Hold nothing back. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to clench your fist. It's okay to tell them everything that they've done that was wrong. Be expressive as you can. Now, I want you to scan your body for a moment and find where this has an energetic hold on you physically. Is it in your stomach? You feel sick to your stomach? Is your stomach tight? Is it difficult to breathe? Are you holding tightness in your shoulder, in your hands? Where is it? Is it in your heart? Wherever it is, be aware of that right now. Now, I want you to look back at this person still in front of you and ask yourself, what did I learn from what happened? Mentally talk to yourself, and you can talk to them. Talk about what you've learned. What is different in your life? What do you know now that you did not know before? How did this make you grow? You can have 2 minutes to complete this. Think about all the ways that you've changed, how you've grown. You're not the same person you used to be. What have you learned? Own the lessons here. What is different? How has it changed you or your family? Or how's it changed your company? What new skills have you learned? Now I want you to try to see what happened from their viewpoint. First, try to think of them as a child. What could they have gone through as a child to cause them to hurt you like they did? You don't have to know exactly what happened to them. Just imagine, see them being hurt. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. What could have happened to them that was so painful, so wrong that it caused them to have whatever belief they have or flaw they had that in turn hurt you? What could have happened to them as an adult? Now see it from their eyes. How might they have seen the situation? However flawed their view may be, see it from their eyes. What were they seeing? What did they say to themselves? You know they were hurt. You know they had a misguided view. What did they see? You're not justifying what they did. You're simply seeing how their flawed view might have influenced what they saw or did or how they felt and how they reacted. Now look a little deeper. Did they act out of fear? Why did they really act? When you look a little deeper, usually we hurt others out of a need to protect our own selves, out of our own fears is how we act. Look to see, did they act out of fear? Now it's from this place that you can feel that your feelings of judgment and resentment and anger have softened. You have a understanding and more of a compassion of why they acted the way they did. And it's from this place that you forgive. You don't condone, but you release and forgive. The bigger picture of why has helped to empower you to do that. So tell them you forgive them. Tell them what that forgiveness looks like from your position of power, from your position of strength. See them, if you must, as a misguided little child coming towards you that you can forgive. Know that they're sorry in their wrongness of what they did. They know the wrongness of what they did. Even if they never speak it to you, there's a soul heart knowing. And now you can release this. So we're going to do that first by releasing it from the body. So again, see that light that is the life force above your head. It is healing, loving, supporting us. And as you breathe it into the top of the head and send it down your spine, I want you to send it particularly to those places where you felt the energy in your body from this person or this event. And as the light travels over that part of your body, feel it releasing and transmuting and healing where the energy was holding you. It's a very healing force. And take another deep breath in and bring that light down into your heart, which is where we hold those feelings of judgment and hurt and pain. And just feel that light helping you to release those now with this bigger picture of understanding that you have. And feel it releasing and let go. And see this light coming in, and wherever it touches, it brings a healing on a cellular level. And wherever this light touches this negative energy, it's dispersed into a million tiny particles and captured out back into the universe to be transmuted. And now from your heart, you can actually send this light from your heart out to this other person, transmuting any of the negative thoughts that you've had towards them. And the final thing that I want to do is to cut any cords, any energetic charge that's between you and this person. So wherever you felt that energy that now has been dissolved, but wherever it might be where you felt it in your body before, there might have been like a cord of energy that was going between you and this person to that part of your body, or from your heart to that person. And I want you to imagine that you can just cut that cord with a big pair of scissors, or you can take your hand and chop it through the cord and it is cut. And with that, you say, I release you and I release this cord between us. I release this drain from my energy field. Feel the release of that in your body. And turn to your guides now, and turn to the first one and ask the question, am I done for now? And imagine that the first guide is either nodding a yes or a no, or verbalizing a yes or a no, and go to the second guide and the same question, am I done for now? And if one of the guys says no, then you need to repeat this exercise. It'll take you 5 minutes. You'll start by expressing whatever else needs to be expressed, asking yourself what you learned, seeing it from their eyes, and then releasing any energy that remains in your body. And if you don't need to repeat it, just say goodbye to this person in this next minute or two. However it is that you want to say goodbye, send them on their way, give them a hug, high five, whatever you want to do. The parting words that you have to them, that you know that you're releasing them in the energy of this. And when you're done, you can open your eyes and just notice how you feel. You have to feel stronger because forgiveness is an attribute of those that are strong, not for the weak. And you've reclaimed back some of your power. And I want you to know that you can come back and do just the forgiveness portion, the meditation portion of this recording, and choose something bigger. There's someone that has a bigger wrong to you that you need to forgive. And then when you're ready, I'd like for you to do it where you do it as an act of forgiveness to yourself. And know that each time that you do it, that you are claiming your energy back, you're claiming back your power so that you have that to move forward to on your path in a higher vibration. Forgiveness is a key to your power.